She will chase the one who walks away and doubt the one who never does. Let that sink in. Because Machiavelli, though long dead, understood something most modern men still haven't figured out. Confidence isn't what you say. It's how little you need to say. It's how much you can withhold, how quietly you can hold the room without ever fighting for attention. Rule 1. Confidence is power, not performance. You've been lied to, taught that to win a woman over, you have to impress her, prove yourself. Show her why you're worth it. But Machiavelli would laugh at that, because in his world, just like in yours, power is not about trying. It's about being. Powerful men don't perform. They choose. They don't sell themselves. They filter. And women feel that, even if they can't explain it. You walk into a room and say nothing, but the way you carry yourself, the way you don't flinch, don't rush, don't explain, that silence becomes a gravitational field. That's what Machiavelli meant when he talked about perception as control. You don't need approval, which is why you get it. You don't chase love, which is why it chases you. This isn't arrogance, it's containment. It's the ability to sit with your own fire without asking someone else to warm their hands in it. It's what makes you magnetic, not your charm, not your body, not even your intelligence, but your unbothered presence. And here's the twist. The man who seeks admiration gets ignored. The man who stands still becomes unforgettable, because women don't crave perfection. They crave certainty. And the rarest kind of man in the world today is the one who doesn't shrink when he's not seen, the one who doesn't disappear when he's not chosen, the one who knows that validation is a trap, because once you need it, you've already lost her. So stop trying to win her. Start mastering you. Because when confidence is real, you won't have to say a thing. She'll feel it. She'll lean in. And she'll know you're the storm she doesn't want to survive. Rule 2. Control the frame, never chase it. Here's something Machiavelli would never say with a smile, but he'd whisper it into the ear of every man who wanted power. He who controls the frame controls the outcome. This is not just a dating rule. This is a rule of life. But let's apply it here. When you speak to a woman, who is setting the pace? Who is defining what matters? Who is adjusting? And who is holding steady? Most men chase. They match her rhythm. They adapt to her tone. They soften their truth to gain her approval. And in doing so, they lose the very thing that could have made her feel safe in the first place: leadership. Machiavelli would call this ceding the throne. He believed a leader must define the terms. That control isn't taken by force, it's taken by presence. You control the frame when you define what this moment means, when you're not emotionally reactive, when your values are set and the conversation bends around them. This doesn't mean you dominate. It means you don't contort. You don't twist your backbone just to be liked. You don't mirror her energy if it's out of alignment with yours. You stay centered. You lead the moment. And that leadership creates tension, the kind of tension she remembers. The kind that makes her question why you don't need her validation, why you're so at peace in your own energy. That's power, not force, not manipulation, not seduction, stability. When you stop chasing and start choosing, you become rare. Not because you're playing games, but because you're playing your game and inviting her in. Machiavelli would say, the masses admire strength, but they follow certainty. When you control the frame, you don't just become attractive, you become inevitable, because a woman may desire a man who flatters her, but she respects the man who doesn't bend. And respect, my friend, is the soil where true attraction blooms. So ask yourself, are you chasing her reality, or are you inviting her into yours? Rule 3. Mystery is a weapon. Use it sparingly. In a world where everyone is oversharing, the man who holds something back becomes a riddle that can't be solved. And that is the man she can't stop thinking about. Machiavelli didn't write dating advice, but he did understand the most magnetic force in human interaction. uncertainty. You don't need to hide who you are, but you do need to stop putting your whole identity on display, because when she knows everything about you, she stops feeling anything about you. Mystery isn't about being deceptive. It's about being disciplined. It's about understanding that access is addictive. And the moment you give someone full access to your emotions, thoughts, and attention, they stop earning it. And anything that isn't earned isn't valued. Machiavelli would say, "It is much safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But in relationships, this doesn't mean becoming cold. It means becoming measured. Don't fear being misunderstood. Don't over-explain your every thought. Don't spill your soul in the first week just to feel intimacy. Instead, be intentional. Reveal pieces of yourself slowly. Let her wonder what you're thinking. Let her feel that your mind is deeper than the surface you've shown her. That's not manipulation, that's mystique. And mystique is the modern man's superpower. You know why? Because in a generation obsessed with instant answers, you become unforgettable by not being immediately understood. You become rare by refusing to narrate your every emotion. Machiavelli would remind you, the more predictable your moves, the easier you are to discard. But when she doesn't know if you'll call, yet she knows you could. When she doesn't know your next step, yet she trusts your direction. That's the sweet spot. That's when you stop being entertainment and start being a challenge, not a headache, not a puzzle she resents, but a world she wants to explore. So say less, reveal slower. Let silence speak louder than your words, because the man who says everything gets forgotten, but the man who leaves her wondering lives rent-free in her mind. Rule 4, scarcity builds value. Be willing to walk. There's one thing that changes how everyone treats you, and it has nothing to do with charm, looks, or money. It's this: how easy you are to lose. Machiavelli would never tell you to be cruel, but he'd absolutely tell you to be unavailable when necessary, because when people believe you'll stay no matter how you're treated, they stop valuing you. It's not personal, it's psychology, and in love, it's everything. The most magnetic man is not the one who always stays. It's the one who chooses to stay, but could leave at any moment. That choice creates tension, tension creates desire, and desire creates commitment. But without the tension of potential loss, there is no fire. That's why Machiavelli's most dangerous rule is also the most liberating. Do not place your trust in loyalty where power is absent. Translated, if she knows you won't walk away, you've lost all negotiation power. If she senses you're too afraid to be alone, she'll test your boundaries, not because she's evil, but because humans test where the line is. And if you never draw that line, you'll be walked over with a smile. Being willing to walk away doesn't mean being reckless. It means being anchored. It means your standards don't dissolve just because you're afraid of being alone. It means you know your value so deeply, you'd rather lose her than lose yourself. And that is the kind of energy that women feel in their bones. It's what separates the man she flirts with from the man she falls for, because the first makes her feel validated, but the second makes her feel accountable. So be rare, be clear, be kind, but never be easy to keep. Let your presence be a privilege. Let your time be earned, and let your self-respect be unshakable, because the man who can walk away is the man who gets chased. And Machiavelli would agree, in matters of power and passion, detachment is leverage. Rule 5, power isn't loud, it's the calm that silences noise. We live in a world obsessed with noise, more posts, more opinions, more performance, and yet, the most powerful men don't yell, they don't beg, they don't chase, they radiate. And that's what Machiavelli would call the silent dominance of true power. A prince should therefore always seem to be a man of compassion, loyalty, integrity, and religion, but be capable of acting in the complete opposite when necessary. In relationships, this doesn't mean being fake, it means being centered. It means leading with calm energy, but keeping your sword sharp in silence. The loudest man in the room is rarely the strongest. Often, he's overcompensating, because real power doesn't scream. It listens, watches, moves when it's time, and remains still when it's not. To a woman, this energy is undeniable. It's not arrogance, it's presence. It's that rare kind of confidence that doesn't need validation, that doesn't need constant reassurance, that doesn't fall apart when things don't go his way. When you walk into a room and your energy says, "I don't need to be liked, I just need to be clear," you instantly stand out, because you're not selling yourself, you're embodying yourself. You don't announce your worth, you let it echo through your composure. And this is exactly what Machiavelli understood. The most effective leaders, lovers, and legends all carry the same invisible armor: composure, even in chaos, especially in chaos. So when she pulls away, you stay calm. When she tests you, you smile, unmoved. When emotions rise, you lower your voice and sharpen your boundary. That is confidence. That is control. Because real strength isn't in domination, it's in discernment, knowing when to lean in, when to pull back, when to speak, when to let silence carry the message. Women don't chase noise, they chase signal, and your signal, your aura, is strongest when it's not trying to prove anything. That's what separates boys from men, performers from kings, and in the words of Machiavelli, those who master their emotions master their destiny. If this resonated, take a moment to subscribe. Drop a comment below, not for the algorithm, but to mark this chapter in your journey. If you made it this far, you're not just watching, you're remembering, returning, reclaiming your inner ground. So trust that the video YouTube shows you next, the one appearing now, is not random. It's the next doorway, the next layer, and it will meet you exactly where you are. We'll see you in the next depth. Depthoria continues.